Welcome to Politics Done Right. My name is Egberto Willies here at KPFT 90.1 FM Houston. We have a great show lined up for you today, guys. A great show lined up for you today, even as we are in fund drive mode. And in the house with me today is the El Señor Ingeniero Stuart. How are you doing today, Stuart?
I'm doing great, Egberto. How are you, sir?
I am doing great, Stuart. We have a big goal to make this week, but not only this week, this next 3 weeks in Fund Drive, but I make you a promise. You keep on calling us. You keep on supporting us, and you are going to continue to hear some great programming, both on the political side, on the music side, on the social side, on every side. So please remember, folks, we're going to get into the program, but I'm going to ask you to call 713-526-5738 and hit this time option 1 to support the program. Folks, you know how much we put into making sure we give you not what you get every day on mainstream media, but we are here to enlighten the mind, all of us together. 713-526-5738. I have a big goal to make. I have to get 5 new users. Can you believe? I'm still thinking in my software development time. We need 5 new members as well under my show. That is, meaning listening to my show. So if you've never given before, please become one of the 5 people that are going to be given newly today. Whatever you can, however amount you can, and if you're a person who's given before, please reopen those pocketbooks again and say, I want to keep Politics Done Right on air. Because here's the truth of the matter. Yes, we are a nonprofit. Yes, we don't take commercials or any ads or that sort of stuff. But you know what is important? To keep a program on, we have to show that people want the program. And how do you show that you want your program? Yes, you support it, whether it is that you're going to call in and make a pledge, however much that is going to be, or do you have a car, a clunker, or something that you haven't used in a long time? My car, when it was about to go out, I left it at the airport and some water got into the bottom of it and certain things started to, go awry. I mean, not things that couldn't be fixed, but as a political activist, I didn't really have time to go fix these things, etc. And I said, okay, my car, I'm going to have to get another car. I was driving a rental for a few days. I knew I was going to give the car away. So I gave my car to KPFT with the expectation that, something is going to come. So I put on Facebook, hey guys, I am looking for a car. I want to buy a car, a good used car from a friend, because I didn't want to go out there in the open market. And a friend of mine called me from Florida. And she says, Egberto, let me tell you, my husband just died. She was with me in the coffee party. My husband just died. I need to get rid of this car. I tell you what, come take the car. Just pay what's owed on the car and it's yours. And I said, wow. Good people all around. Good deeds pay off. When we are a community and it pays off. I gave my car to KPFT. She gave me her car for what was the balance on payments on her car note. I think that was like a wonderful exchange. So 713-526-5738. Hit that number 1 and say, yes, I want to support Politics Done Right on KPFT. I want to support Politics Done Right on KPFT. So we are waiting for our first contribution. So don't forget, 713-526-5738. Hit option 1. Cannot do it without you. The title of the show today is, wait, before I do that, before I go and say the title of the show, well, he's busy right now. I'll ask him a little. Oh, there you go. Hey, Stuart.
Yes, sir.
I showed you the T-shirt, the KPFT Politics Done Right T-shirt, and you kind of like it. So you know what? I'm going to ask you to pitch it for me before I start the program.
Absolutely. Politics Done Right T-shirts. That's the premium being offered in support of this show. If you donate at the $100 or more level, Remember, you can do that one of two ways, Egberto. You can dial 713-526-5738, or if you're old school, 713-526-KPFT, and hit the option 1. There'll be a live operator standing by to take your donation. Tell them that you want to support Politics Done Right, and you're interested in the Politics Done Right t-shirt premium, and they will hook you up. The other option is to go to our website, kpft.org. In the upper right-hand corner, I just checked it on both the computer and on my phone, there's a red donate button, and you can use that to make your pledge of support to Politics Done Right and KPFT. And if you contribute at that level, there's a very fine-looking, just offered Politics Done Right t-shirt available for your possession.
Thank you so kindly. Thank you so kindly, my brother. Thank you so kindly. Anyway, folks, the title of the show today, Great Jobs Report. But guess what? It's too good for the workers. Second topic, another POC murdered by cop. Third topic, Ilhan Omar, double standard. So here's my subtitle. 500,000 jobs created is good for us, but a problem for Wall Street. We're getting used to cops murdering POCs. Ilhan Omar's defiant speech prior to the Foreign Affairs Committee ousters, important, and here's why. All right, let's start with the Great Jobs Report, because, you know, I got up this morning and I have a quick story to tell before. I don't know how people find me sometimes, right? But anyhow, I got a text this morning, and it said, "Good morning, Umberto. My name is Egberto. You hear me? My name is Egberto, not Umberto." But he said, "Good morning, Umberto." I'm like, "Oh, okay." He said, "I rewrote the Pledge of Allegiance." I said, "Okay." He said, It's the Pledge of Allegiance for the corporatocracy." I said, "Okay." Then he says, "Read it. Check it out." I said, "All right." It says, "The Pledge of Allegiance revised. I pledge allegiance to the corporation of the United Empire of America, and to the economy for which it enslaves all people, demonize and devalues them, passes the profit to the elite, 1% with tyranny and punishment for the poor." Slackers. Now, all I had was a phone number. So I said, "Hey, I love this. Who is this?" And the guy says, "Oh, it's Jack." I'm like, "Hey, Jack, how are you doing?" He said, "I'm the guy who called into the KPFT studios, and I could only hear myself, and I said, I'll call some other time." I'm like, "Man, but you found me, Jack." And he said, "Yes, that's a Pledge of Allegiance. Remember, that's a pledge of..." Love you, Jack. I am just so touched that you searched me down to give me that pledge to make sure that I would get it. I think that is community radio, Stuart. That is what community radio. These guys can touch and feel. They're a part of what we do. And he texted me that first thing this morning.
That's awesome.
That is community radio, folks. And what we are asking you to do is to be a part of this community. And remember, this is a place you have access to. Do you think you could go to KBRE or any one of these other stations and say, "I feel like this is my community"? No. Stuart is your community.
Absolutely.
Right? Marlo is your community. Egberto is your community, right? So that is what we're all about. But we have to invest also in community. We have to nurture our own community. And that's what it's all about. 713-526-5738. Hit option 1. Stuart is looking in my eyes to make sure I'm going to say hit option 1. And I did. 713-526-5738. Hit option 1, folks. Please, we need your contributions. We need your support. And as Stuart said, we now have a Politics Done Right shirt that you can get. And it also has that nice KPFT logo in a very special place.
One thing I think we should probably explain, Egberto, is there's an evolution to people's engagement with this station.
Yes.
You start off generally as a listener. Mm-hmm. You tune around and you tune on 90.1 and you're like, "Oh, this is something new. I haven't heard this before." So the first stage in the evolution of a KPFT person is listener.
Right.
Then you hear the pitch and it's pledge drive and you say, okay, now I'm going to become a member.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can volunteer like Egberto, like me, like Marlo. And then you can become a programmer and you can be on the radio just like Egberto is and just like I am on Saturdays. And that's something that can take a long time or a very short time.
Right.
It just depends on where and how you happen to intersect with this space and with these people in this community. So if you're a listener, consider becoming a listener member. And if you're a member, consider renewing or expanding your membership and your support as you're able. And then consider volunteering, because I started out, believe it or not, last September when the new station reopened here on Caroline. And now I've got my own program on Saturday.
Don't sell yourself cheap. Let's talk a little bit about Stuart. Brother Stuart started out just doing a little stuff around here. Then he started to do the engineering, and in fact, he's engineering the show right now. And then he started training others to be engineers. And then he likes to call himself the oldest intern, but he ain't no intern anymore. He's a hell of a lot more than an intern. But anyhow, folks, give us a call, 713-526-5738. All right, folks, title of the show. I gave you the title of the show already. Let's go ahead and do this. Great jobs report, too good for the workers. So the January jobs report is out, and it looks great. It looks marvelous. The unemployment rate fell to its lowest rate in more than 50 years to 3.4%. This robust economy created over 500,000 jobs. That is more than twice the expected number of jobs. This is great news, right? It is absolutely marvelous news. But you know what, folks? This news was too damn good. The news was too damn good for the average American citizen. Wall Street and our corporatocracy does not like that. Reuters reported the following, and it goes like this. The Federal Reserve is likely to deliver at least 2 more interest rate hikes, taking the benchmark rate above 5% before monetary policy will sufficiently be restricted to brittle an unexpectedly strong labor market that is contributing to high inflation. I'm coming to you in a minute, Jack. That was the read from traders of interest rate futures on Friday after the U.S. Labor Department reported employers added more than 500,000 jobs last month. Far more than expected. Prices in those contracts fell sharply and now reflect a better than even chance that the Fed will keep raising interest rates to 5% or 5.25% range by June, if not by May. Why is the Federal Reserve likely to continue increasing interest rates? They want to bring down inflation, not on the backs of those parasitic profiteers responsible for creating it, but on the backs of every poor and middle-class American. We pay for the greed of the titans of our economy with higher prices, instead of threatening them with a windfall profit tax to extract the spoils of their pilfering. The Feds force Americans to pay up to the banksters with higher interest rates. These behaviors make our economic system a fraud on every single average American citizen. Sadly, much of the inflated spending by Americans is again occurring on credit. They are hoping for a better tomorrow. Unfortunately, the corporatocracy, through all these different financial structures, is sucking us dry. Let me be clear. This is not hyperbole. A lot of people say, oh, he's bloviating. He's just talking these things. These are numerical facts, brothers and sisters. These are numerical facts that can be proven on a piece of paper or on a spreadsheet for you. This is not hyperbole. Our current inflation, for the most part, is not a result of shortages or supply chain problems. It is a direct result of greed, and it shows in the profits of corporations, even as there are, except in a very few cases or very few areas, there is not a supply problem. There is no problem at all with supply and demand. Let's bring Jack into the conversation. Jack, how are you doing today? Jack, I tell you what, Jack, call us back. We accidentally dropped you. Call us back and we'll get you on air right away, I promise. Call me back. We'll get you on air right away. So while we get Jack back on the air, this is what we're going to do. I want to further, Jack, call us back. I don't know if, sometimes when we hang up, you miss the beat or something like that. But I do want to hear from you. So call us back right now. Right now. All right. Let me give a little further notice here. This is important because a lot of people think it's hyperbole. Come on in, Jack. Come on in.
Yeah. I'm not going to comment on your deal. You butchered my pledge a little bit, so it needs to go with the same cadence.
Well, wait a minute. If I butchered your pledge, I got to do it again. I screwed up. I got to do it again. But explain the butchering.
Let me do it, and I'll show you.
Well, you do it, bro. Well, you do it.
Okay. I pledge allegiance to the corporations of the United Empire of America and to the economy for which it enslaves all peoples, demonizes and devalues them, passes the profit to the elite 1%, with tyranny and punishment for the poor, slackers.
Who could have done it better?
How was that?
Let me ask you this, Jack. Who could possibly do it better than the author of the piece?
Well, I guess the author of it.
Brother, no. Take your kudos. It's okay. How you doing, sir?
Right, I'm good.
Talk to me.
Good.
Is there anything else you want to add before I continue with my essay?
Go ahead with your essay. Thank you.
Brother, you have a great time, okay? And by the way, and thank you for the pledge.
Okay, you're welcome.
Take care, buddy. All right.
Bye.
Okay, he could actually hear himself this time. The last time he called, sometime earlier in the week, I believe, he was hearing a double talk, etc. Anyhow, folks, before I move on, I want to give some kudos to Bridge MCP on the internet. Santi Thomas says, why USA vote and put those people in office? Best drama queens for playing the victim card. AOC and Talib, the squad, should be held accountable for their actions and words. Yes, they should. And you know what? I love their actions and words, don't you think? All right, let's continue here. Welcome aboard, Bridge MCP, to our first instantiation of Politics Done Right of the day. 713-526-5738. 713-526-5738. Please remember to hit option 1 and support our program to make sure this program stays on air, and as well as increasing the development of all of our minds concurrently. Anyhow, so what really got me this morning, again, and it's very important that we see it, because I have tried to walk all of us through this door. After we've emerged from the pandemic, there were, in fact, supply chain problems. And to put it in simple words, it just means that we as a society decided to manufacture a whole lot of our stuff overseas. And since a lot of countries in the overseas had sick people as well, right? Their factories shut down, which couldn't supply our stores with all the imported goods we asked them to make. And since we had less goods to sell, what that meant is those people had the option of increasing the prices of said goods. And in increasing the prices of said goods, of course, what happens again? They have the option to increase the price. Now, that isn't the totality of the problem, however. Many of those problems were mitigated and the flow of supply started to come in. I mean, we had the issue with eggs. The price of eggs are really part of the problem with eggs is that we had the flu issue with these eggs, and they had to slaughter a whole lot of the laying eggs. And that meant that there was, in fact, a shortage of eggs. But there was no ever a shortage of gasoline. There was never a shortage of flour. There was never a shortage of all these other things that went up in prices. They priced it because they could. So it reflected in the profit margin that they had. Remember, you could go to any store. You never had a problem getting a tomato. You never have a problem getting a corn cob. You never had a problem getting all these other things, did you? You did not. And the reason you did not is because we never had a real supply chain problem in those particular areas. Yet those prices went up as well. Okay. So when these companies' profits came out, they created inflation by inflating the price. So something that cost $10 now costs $11. And and that was money taken directly out of your pockets and into the pockets of the plutocracy, those people who run everything, right? And as they took all that money out of that thing, it reflected when they had to, by law, they had to report their earnings. And when they report their earnings, we could see their profits. And those were humongous profits. Exxon, $50 billion. Chevron, $50 billion. These are some crazy, crazy, crazy type profits. And then, because we don't want these high prices, and there's another technical reason that that's beyond the scope of this program today, why we don't want high prices to keep going, etc. And it also has to do with bankers. So they want to bring these prices down. So they want supply and demand to work, right? But instead of telling these corporations, if you don't drop your prices, we are going to have a windfall tax on your profits, which means we'll take it either way. Either we take your greed away by taking the taxes, or you reduce the prices that you're charging. You have two options. Those are the only two options I thought should have been used. Demand that they drop their prices. If they don't, we have a windfall profit tax. But that's not what we choose. We like to go out on national TV. We like to go out on MSNBC and CNBC, on ABC, CBS, and all the others and lie to the American people. And the lie that we tell the American people is the only way to solve this problem is for the feds to solve it, because the charter of the feds says you are to maintain interest rate at the lowest point, at the same time at maximal employment. That's their charter. That is what the Federal Reserve is chartered to do. And the feds would lie to you and tell you the only option we have is monetary policy. Our monetary policy is to increase the interest rates on the average American consumer. Well, so the average American consumer had to pay out more for that steak. And some of them couldn't buy that baby formula with the cash that they earned, so they used their credit card to pay for the extra amount it's going to cost them for the baby food and all that stuff. And now the Federal Reserve is telling that mother who had to use her Visa, her American Express, her MasterCard, her Discover to buy the milk for her kid on credit because she just had to take that kid over to the next paycheck. The Federal Reserve is now telling her, in as much as I had to, that company pilfered you to pay that money, guess what you're going to do now? You are going to have to pay a higher interest rate on that credit card. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. So we hit the poor person twice. We hit the poor mother trying to get milk twice. Tell me how great an economic system that is, people. 713-526-5738. Hit option 2. Please give us a call or go to kpft.org. We have a new t-shirt out with Politics Done Right on it, with the KPFT logo in that circle. So come on and please give us a call. 713-526-5738. Option 1, I'm looking to see if there's anybody to thank yet. And I don't have anybody to thank yet. Am I going to get all those that I need to thank with? I need 5 new members to sign up right now. So if you haven't ever called, please give us a call. 713-526-5738. Whatever contribution that you have to offer, we will be happy to accept. become a member of the Pacifica Network by calling 713-526-5738. And that is option number one. Option number one. I repeat one more time, 713-526-5738. We are the ones that are telling you the truth about this because we are not asking you to take what we are saying at face value. We're asking you to go out there and simply, you can research what we talk about here. All right, Bridge MCP says, a spike in egg prices has squeezed customers, but even with rising costs of its own, the leading U.S. egg supplier has found that it can make even more money out of every egg. Cal was only company that was not affected by bird flu. The egg shortage has enabled record quarterly profits and sales at Cal Maine Foods, the largest producer and distributor of eggs in the United States. The company produces brands such as Farmhouse Eggs, Sunups, Sunny Meadows, Egglands, Bestland, Land O'Lakes. Cal Maine's profit increased 65% to $198 million during the 3 months ending November 26 from a year ago. So as we mentioned all of the times, brothers and sisters, this is a game played on you. But if you watched mainstream media, they would have you believe it's just a market thing. That's just the market operates. To which I journalists tell them, yeah, you're right. That's a market thing. The market is a fraudulent thing. Because you're saying that's how the market works. Then if the market works that way, we're talking about a fraudulent market. Let's see what else we got here. E2247 says, there's nowhere in this country where a full-time worker paid the federal minimum wage of $7.25 can make ends meet. And yet many restaurant workers are paid a sub-minimum wage of $2.13 an hour. Totally absurd. The expectation is that they're going to make tips, and somehow those tips are going to take care of business. 713-526-5738. Please keep KPFT, or rather keep Politics Done Right on KPFT on air. Our new Politics Done Right t-shirts with that KPFT logo is $100, and I am sure you are going to love it. It's beautifully designed by Robin, and I tell you, that's a very, very nice t-shirt. When you see somebody like Stuart look at that t-shirt and say, hey, I like it, then you know it's a real thing. And I think we have other products as well that we're doing. Isn't that right, Stuart? I think we have some other gifts as well.
That's correct, Egberto.
What are they?
Well, you got to go to the website to see them all. If you go to kpft.org and click on the red donate button, there's a full menu of all the items that are available as premiums for our new listener members, including T-shirts for Politics Done Right, wide open spaces, etc., as you like to say.
Etc.,
including concert tickets. As a matter of fact, I have a list, which I am not going to read, but it's here, of concert tickets for the fund drive as of February 1st. Wow. Some of these concerts look really impressive, Egberto. I'll just give you a little taste, okay?
Okay.
Al Stewart, March the 5th at the Do-Si-Do Big Barn. Ricky Skaggs, Michael Martin Murphy at the Heights Theater. So the point is, folks, there are dozens of tickets available as premiums for pledges. And if you're interested in seeing what's there, might I suggest you go to our website, kpft.org, look for the red donate button, click on it, and then you can see what the premiums are available for our thanks for supporting shows like Politics Done Right. And we'd be very appreciative. So help yourself and help us in the process.
Absolutely. So, folks, we're waiting for our first few donors and our first few first-time donors and members of Pacifica Network's KPFT. 713-526-5738. Option 1, 713-526-5738. 703-526-5738, option 1. I went into oblivion for a minute there. We have E2247 who says, it's time to end starvation wages for soldiers, sailors, Marines, airmen, Coast Guard men, prod them with world-class childcare, paid equality housing, and stop counting them as employed. Counting them as being employed is the way POTUS Reagan forced the unemployment stats down, and Biden is still using the Potemkin facade, false, superficial, or artificial appearance of or effect. 713-526-5738. Hit option 1 to contribute, or you can always go to kpft.org, hit that donate button, and make sure that you keep Politics Done Right alive on KPFT Monday, Wednesday, Fridays at noon. All right. Unless it looks like we may have something here, I want to give a big shout out. No, that's not. I thought that was mine, but that's not a new one. That was there before. I thought I had a shout out to give somebody. No shout out yet. Who's going to be first to get a shout out from Politics Done Right? 713-526-5738, option number 1. All right, let's go to the second subject of the day. It's called Ilhan Omar, double standard. Yes, sir. I think our good friend Stuart has something to say. Go ahead, Stuart.
Yes, we have our first contribution for Politics Done Right. So thank you to Bridget for your donation.
Oh, Bridge, thank you so kindly for being a new member to KPFT 90.1 FM. Thank you so kindly. Thank you so kindly, my dear sister. All right, 713-526-5738, option numero uno. Option numero uno. All right, let's continue here. Folks, Ilhan Omar yesterday gave what I would call a very, very impressive speech on the floor. And, there's a caricature that was made of her or has been made of her. Now, I've interviewed Ilhan Omar twice. And twice at the same place. Thank you, Bridge, for your contribution. As always, you're always there for Politics Done Right. Ilhan Omar, double standard. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar did not pull any punches with her fiery floor speech before the vote to remove her from the Foreign Affairs Committee. There is this idea that you are suspect if you are an immigrant, Omar said, or if you are from certain parts of the world, a certain skin tone, or a Muslim. The Congresswoman then pointed out that President Barack Obama suffered the same type of indignities from Republicans when he was elected President of the United States. The premise of Ilhan Omar's removal from the committee is for anti-Semitic tropes she used that she apologized for many times over. I want to pause right there, because if anyone who listens to Omar, not because you object to a policy of the Israeli government means that you're anti-Semitic. And, before I make or write certain blogs, I call up one or more of my Jewish friends to make sure that something that I'm saying, I didn't miss in what I'm saying. I mean, I hate to have to do that, right? Because I know where my heart is. But I hate to have to do that. But in these times, I understand that I have to. Now, hey, Bruce Pollard is in the house. I understand that I have to do that. Now, Ilhan Omar is no anti-Semite. Ilhan Omar wants to ensure that everybody has equal access to their land, success, etc. And yes, as well as Rashida Tlaib and others. So she made that statement. Again, what she lost her position for was using the statement about Benjamins that colloquially is sort of I can't call it racist, but it's sort of a negative remark against a Jewish person. And she apologized for using it. She said, well, there are certain things that I know before I was enlightened, I went through as well, with certain things I would say about women, certain things I would say about gays, etc. And I've learned my own lesson. So she no longer does that. And she lost her job for that. But all these other Republicans on these committees, they are not just using words. They're going to white supremacist things. They're going to anti-Jewish organizations, etc. But they're on committees, and they laid her off. But I see my brother in the studio that I want to have a few words with before I continue with this blog. It's the one and only Steve.
Hey, you just had your second donation. Did you know that?
Well, tell me about it, Steve.
Yeah, it came from me.
Oh!
So hold a second. Let me ask you a quick question.
I love you, brother.
Did you? Yeah. Oh, gosh, that's a natural thing. Hey, did you ever, at any time in your life, did you ever, just even for a moment, think, gosh, I wonder what it would be like if I were an animal, like an elephant trainer? Did you ever thought that would be an interesting job? Did that ever come across your mind?
I never thought that, but I want to hear where this is going.
Okay, but so I did have.
Okay.
So look, if you were an elephant trainer,
yes.
and the circus was coming through town, and they were bringing the largest elephant, the best trained elephant in the entire world into town. Would you go down and stand on the sidewalk downtown as they did their parade through just to see the world's largest elephant come through? Would you maybe bring a little bit of food for the elephant?
Yeah.
Because you're just out of, wow.
Yes, I would.
So I came down because on this station, on KPFT, as far as I'm concerned, you are the most creative talk show we've got.
Oh, my God.
So
Whoa.
Could I not show up and give a little elephant food?
I appreciate your contribution, but brother, I look up to you because you are like the angel in this, or not the angel, the dean, like the dean of the Senate, the dean of the House, the dean of these places.
And to be in this position is only 22 years old is amazing. Yes.
Hold on, brother. You are the dean. You're like the talk standard that all of us look up to, brother. You've been around. You were the star in Canada. You were the star in Detroit. You were the star in all these other places. So, brother, we know who you are.
Thank you, buddy. I know who you are. That's why I'm here.
All right.
Thanks for doing what you do.
Hey, well, thank you for being there. And also, I
really did just make a donation, so none of your business. But look, I'm number 2, and this is going to keep going.
Okay.
713-526-5738. Only this time when you call in, when that little voice says, hi, this is KPFT, you hit a 1, and then you get a chance. Oh, be sure and tell the person that's taking your donation that it's going to be for politics done right.
Does this guy have a nice voice or what?
Thank you.
Yeah, you know what? I know that voice can be dangerous.
Let
brother.
me get out of your way and let your information and your dreams and your thoughts hold forth.
All right,
that's why I'm
going.
here, buddy. You're doing a great job.
Hey, thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Yes, my friend.
All right, let's continue this thing about Ilhan Omar. So you heard what I said about Israel. You're not anti-Semitic for coming against what Israel is doing. You're not that at all. So that's where I am with Ilhan Omar. I've spoken to Ilhan Omar. I've interviewed Ilhan Omar. Listen to it. It's in the blog that I wrote. But check it out. It says, the reality is this is payback for MAGA Republicans who threatened the lives of other congresspersons' removal during the last cycle. There was no comparison. No comparison, but that does not matter to them. I am Muslim, Omar said. I am an immigrant and, interestingly, from Africa. Is anyone surprised that I am being targeted? Is anyone surprised that I am somehow deemed unworthy to speak about American foreign policy? Or that they see me as a powerful voice that needs to be silenced? Frankly, it is expected. Because when you push power, power pushes back. 713-526-5738. Option 1. Please give us a call. Support the show however you can, or go to kpft.org and hit that donate button. Continuing, I am American, Omar said proudly. An American who was sent here by her constituents to represent them in Congress. a refugee who survived the horrors of a civil war, someone who spent her childhood in a refugee camp, someone who knows what it means to have a shot at a better life here in the United States, and someone who believes in the American dream and the American possibility and the promise and the ability to participate in the democratic process. In the democratic process. Hey guys, give us a call, 713-526-5738, hit option 1, give us a donation, then call back again and hit option 2. And we speak on air. We still have quite a few minutes left on air that we can do all of this. So Ilhan, when I interviewed her in Pittsburgh, that's where it was. We were at the convention. And this is what she said. She said, I came from another place. I chose to move to America after being a refugee, stay in America, be an American, and I never once contemplated, ever going against my own country, meaning America. I never contemplated going against my own country and attempt to overthrow that country. Many of these people who are attacking me, this is what she's told me. This wasn't on the video. This is when we were talking on the backside, because I wanted to let her husband know that I wasn't going to try to, a lot of what happens when a lot of journalists go to these places is they try to get a gotcha moment with people like Rashida Tlaib or Ilhan Omar or Ayanna Pressley, all these radical women that they like to call radical. They're not radical at all, but they like to get gotcha questions for them. So I grabbed her husband and I said, look, check out the blogs that I've written on the Congresswoman. I am actually on the Congresswoman's side because I understand where she's coming from. And then he finally said, you know what? Find an empty room. I'll bring her over and we'll chat. And that's what we did. That is what we did. My computer was just about to lose power. That's what we did, folks. So, it's important for you to create a rapport. It's important for you to create a rapport, and that's what we did. 713-526-5738. Take this over for me a little bit, Stuart. 713-526-5738.
Thanks, Egberto. Folks, it's Pledge Week. It's Fund Drive, and we need your support. Listener members on KPFT are what make this station survive. We need your financial contributions to pay the bills. We have a significant electricity expense to power our transmitter, 100,000 watts of FM power, and it costs a lot of money. So pledge your support by calling 713-526-5738. Hit option 1 when you're prompted and give your contribution to the folks that are taking those calls. Or you can go to our website, kpft.org, look for the red donate button, and be sure to indicate your support for Politics Done Right. This program needs your financial support. KPFT needs your support. Please don't ignore our call. Please don't ignore our pleas, and make sure that you're part of the solution. The challenge we have is we've got to raise money, and this is day 1 of our pledge drive. If we meet our goals, the pledge drive will end early. We've been assured of that. But experience tells us it's going to take a while to get the support that we need. And we're not asking for more than we need. We're not pilfering the money away on things that are unnecessary. We're getting by on a lot of faith and hope and a lot of volunteer efforts. So please join us and support us financially with your pledges and your cash supports. 713-526-5738, option 1 to donate on the phone, or kpft.org to make your pledge online.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And who is our new engineer in training? There's a special thing on this show. I kind of put people on the spot all the time. New folks, all that good stuff. I don't know if you're new or not, but who do we have doing some training here on the boards with us today?
My name's Amanda Johnston, and I run the phones in the morning for You Talk, and I wanted to learn the board, so here I am.
Well, first of all, is thank you very, very much, because, we need as many folks as we can get. And look, Sandy and I are fighting to get a thing in here. And, Sandy, go on that side, man. But let me tell you something, guys. We have great people that just come through this station day in and day out, okay? Day in and day out. And we want to give a big thank you to Amanda for coming out here and also learning the boards here to work with us here at KPFT 90.1 FM. And if you are interested in learning how to use these boards and in a radio station, that's what we're here at 4504 Carolina. And all right, come on in, Brother Sandy, LGM.
3 times a week, Egberto drives down here in his white car and comes through the roll gate at 4504 Caroline and parks in the back lot. 3 times a week, Egberto's down here doing this as a volunteer. Today, I'm asking you, it's got to be entertaining. And we see more people online listening. Listenership is rising. If you like this, please donate to KPFT right now. Go online, kpft.org, click the donate button, do it on your phone. The mobile app has been improved, so it's more navigable. You can call 713-526-5738, push option 1, speak to someone and donate. And we'll see it show up here in the studio. We're watching, Egberto, we're watching. Now, one thing that's kind of new for this drive and we haven't done before for reasons mostly of just kind of misunderstanding. We have a show called The Houston Hour, hosted by Mr. McKinney and Heidi Vaughn. Each week they bring you a slice of all about Houston, a little bit of history about Houston. Well, it's much more than that. Mr. McKinney burns to bring you Houston history. What he does for a living is something, not a teacher, not anything really, as a history guy. He just likes this, and he's turned it into a philanthropic engine. He goes to other nonprofits around town, and what he does is he says, if you make a donation to that nonprofit, you get to ride on the bus. Who's paying for the bus? Mr. McKinney's paying for the bus, the driver, the gas, the insurance, the maintenance, the inspection sticker, all of it. He's doing all of that. So thank you for doing that and supporting nonprofits around town, worthy causes. And Mr. McKinney, if you're listening, thank you for your generosity in donating 4 busloads worth of people to tour Houston, starting right here at 4504 Caroline Street and winding right up here at 4504 Caroline Street. On a sunny weekend day in March or April, we'll let you know when. We'll get your email, your phone number, and give you the updates that you deserve. And you come on down here on that day and you ride the bus, and we're asking you to donate $75 per ticket. Family of 4, you can do the math. You and your sweetie, you can do the math. $75 per ticket. Want to thank Mr. McKinney and the Houston Hour for doing that. And I want to thank Egberto for what he does, because he comes down here every day for 3 days a week. Well, 3 times a week, and frequently other days too. I see him driving in, going through the roll gate, parking the car, getting out, coming in the back door, having pleasant conversations with everybody, including you on the air. Come on, people. 713-526-5738. Push option 1. Support this volunteer effort, this homegrown effort, this free platform for speech. Support, please. Can't do it without you.
This guy here works very hard keeping all this stuff together. So, we are a team out here. We all volunteer. We work hard to make sure that Houston has the only real, and notice what I said, the only real community radio station not controlled by any commercial entity. We're doing it. Well, you know what? Not we are doing it. All of us, you and us, we're all doing it together. 713-526-5738. Option numero 1. Option 1. 713-526-5738.
Marka, Marque de numero uno.
I
Mi
like your
español
accent,
muy
man.
malo.
Okay. Thank you. 713-526-5738. Folks, we need some more contributions right now to keep me on track. Otherwise, this guy is going to come in here and say, oh, let's go ahead and put another show out there. So let's go. 713-526-5738. Option number 1. Let me continue a little piece here. I'm not going to do the cop story today. You can go ahead and read that at our site. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that. You can go ahead and read that later on, because what I want to do is I want to spend a little bit more time on the economy, because I want us to start asserting our own worth. And every chance that I get to talk about this, I try. Yes, we have the cop issue. Yes, we have all these things that are going on at the same time. But as a whole lot of people know, if we can solve the green issue, the money issue in our country, we will solve a lot of other issues, because we cannot then use the money issue as some sort of a trope. We can't use the money issue as some sort of a trope. We can't use the money issue to pit one person against another. We can't use the money issue to allow us to use our differences as some sort of a hammer to separate folks. We can't do it. And the only way we can solve these problems is realizing what or whom the culprit really is. And it's the system, right? You have to change the system. You have to modify the system in such a manner that all of us have equity in the system. I didn't say equality. Equality is when it comes to equal, we should all have equal access to success. Outcomes are not going to be equal, because person A may want to work more than person B. Person A works harder. Person A is likely going to be more successful, etc. But that's not what we have in America. My garbage man works very hard, and he likely has no health insurance. My garbage man works very hard. He likely has no dental. He likely has no retirement. He likely has none of that. A stockbroker works a whole lot less. He moves papers here and there. He has no intrinsic intellect over that garbage person. His intellectual apt is not better than that person who's picking up my garbage. But our society, because of who defined it, treats it that way. Our goal is to bring equal access to success, equity to us all. 713-526-5738, option 1. Please provide support for the politics done rights of this. Thank you. Please remember, that is what we need to ensure that we can have real, actual success in giving the message, in letting others know that we have the option, for a better America. That is what it's all about, folks. That is all. It's not about us as individual. It's about us, the collective. If you ever wondered why we have gone into this individualistic mode of operation in our country, where it's about me, me, me. What is it going to do to me? I need to do this. I need to be here. I need to be all of this. All of that comes from an indoctrination. And if we become that individualistic entity, we no longer think about being together. And if we don't think about being together, we can't work on solving the problem from those who have it all. Because you know what? We're fighting among each other. 713-526-5738. Again, one more time. 713-526-5738. Hit the option 1. We need new new members as well. 713-526-5738. Option 1, or go to kpft.org. kpft.org. Hit the donate button, and you can also get our T-shirt there. Nice T-shirt designed by Robin with the KPFT logo, or rather with the Politics Done Right logo, big on the top, and then you have that sign on the O with KPFT. I know a lot of you are going to say, well, I'm going to go ahead and wait till the end of the show and give to kpft.org. I can understand that, but just to kind of make us feel good, let me feel good, give it a call as well. 713-526-5738. Option 1. I'm told I have about 3 more minutes. Are you guys going to make my day in these 3 minutes? 713-526-5738. Option number 1. Option number 1. 713-526-5738. All right. Today's the first day of the fund drive. For those of you who are thinking about giving but haven't given yet, or not sure, or you don't think the gift that you want to provide is going to be good enough, that's not the case. First of all, for the T-shirts, we're giving a gift for $100. You have the option of splitting that up into manageable pieces. Otherwise, you can give whatever a minimum contribution, whatever it is that you want to provide. Again, every penny that's provided to a station like this, a community radio station, is absolutely always accepted. It's something that, again, pays a piece of the bill. 713-526-5738. Option number 1. Option number 1. And folks, that is what it's all about. kpft.org. Hit the donate button. Hey, you want to say some closing words, Steve? Come on and say some closing words, Steve.
You're still doing the best job, buddy. As I said, the most creative talk shows on the station. Really are.
Well, thank you.
And if you don't understand that, I can listen to you.
All right. Oh, he wants you to go closer to the mic. No problem. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, my brother. Anyhow, folks, 713-526-5738. I got 2 more minutes. You can do it. You can either go to the website now, or you can call that number now. 713-526-5738. Option number 1. Option number 1. I see somebody is there. Option number 1. 713-526-5738. What time is it? We're almost there, folks. We are almost there. Almost there. I know that you can. You remember that thing where they say, I know I can. I know I can. Let's go ahead and do it. We gave you a show today. We're going to give you a show every single time. We're on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. Politics Done Right will be here with a new show every time. Of course, we're going to break in and ask you to support the program, because that is what we have to do to keep this 100,000 watt transmitter that goes over the entire Southeast Texas alive. Only thing that we can do. 713-526-5738. We've got 30 seconds, and I know you can do it in the next 30 seconds.
Egberto, you just had somebody call and say, we love Egberto. We want his show all the time. And I said, hey, there's one thing you need to do. Call 713-526-5738, extension 1, and let Egberto feel some of this love, man.
Yes.
Let him feel the
Let me feel the love, and like Marlo is here saying, let's do it. Muchas gracias, Marlo. 713-526-5738 or kpft.org. I think I'm at my limit now. My name is Egberto Willies. This is Politics Done Right, and you guys know how I end this, baby. I am what? Out! We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number 1, subscribe to our channel. And number 2, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.